Welcome to Often Pacing on Tab Radio Racing and Sport. Tim Walker will be joined by Matt Young and Oliver County as they delve into the form for today's Pinjarra harness meeting, as well as an early look at tomorrow's meeting at Gloucester Park. We are Often Pacing.
And a very good morning, everyone tuned into TAB Radio this morning. It is 9:33 a.m. and we're going to get straight into Off and Pacing here with Matt Young and Ollie County. Matt, a very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Leia, as well as Ollie, soon to join us, and some massive news in harness racing coming out in the past just a few hours in terms of hot and treacherous for the Tab Touch slot in the Nullarbor, as well as Catch a Wave over the weekend for Regency Foods. So massive news in terms of the landscape of the Nullarbor and just some great racing all around. So, yeah, plenty to talk about this morning.
Exactly, and we're looking forward to it. Ollie, a very good morning to you as well.
Good morning. Really exciting times with the Nullarbor starting to take shape. So looking forward to seeing how that further plays out over the next couple of weeks.
And we're also very much looking forward to the Bunbury Cup nominations now closed. Matt, what are your thoughts ahead of the race?
Yeah, it's interesting. We see Steno's nominated for the event. That's a massive step in a big direction of free-for-all company for Steno racing into the Bunbury Cup. Penny Tiger as well, Ideal Agent winning the Mount Eden Sprint, Lavra Joe, Valentine's Brooks Swing Band, Jumping Jack Mac is in the nominations with Steal the Show, Mighty Ronaldo. It's a really outstanding field that is going to shape up, and no doubt the barrier draws are going to play a part for sure.
And Ollie, you were quite excited about Steno in our group chat this morning?
I just thought Steno, it'll be really interesting to see how she stacks up against the boys. She's just been so dominant against her own gender. So I think it'll be really interesting there. And there's some horses in here that'll really be wanting to make a bid for the Nullarbor. So if Steno comes out and runs really well, then there might be a spot for her.
All right, I'm sure we'll be having more chit-chat around the Bunbury Cup closer to this Saturday. Let's head back to race 4 at Gloucester Park on Friday night for a replay.
Travels well, and then Volton's in the inside. Blitzen by is getting into the clear. Cordiero's pushed out wider. What's Up Sunshine the inside. Around the turn they run. Hampton Banner in 29 seconds just in front. On the outside, Tenzing Bromac. Tricky Mickey will come to the outside now. In the straight, Tenzing Bromac has raced up and taken the lead. Tricky Mickey is giving chase, but Tenzing Bromac going like a winner. Tricky Mickey runs into second place, but Tenzing Bromac first up, big win. Tenzing Bromac has won by 1.5 meters to Tricky Mickey. Third got really interesting.
Tenzing Bromac taking out that. His return run on Friday night just set up, parked in the breeze. He was too strong for them. 155.9, 29.27.9. Well rated in the breeze by Denny Robertson. She was able to wait for Tricky Mickey to move to the outside before kicking him into another gear, and he just exploded away. Ollie, what did you take out of this event? Tenzing Bromac back in town, and he looks really good.
Just a dominant win by Tenzing Bromac. Really, really good to see him back. I think he'd sort of become a bit of a forgotten horse, but stamped his authority there, and he's one to follow going forward. But I thought it was just a fantastic drive by Denny Roberts, knowing that the danger was on her back. She went a 29 down the back straight, and then a 27.9 home, and just made it too hard for Tricky Mickey in the end, who was really good chasing.
We've also got a replay here of race 5, Never Ending took out the win.
Lusaka's out wide, Charco Eagle the inside, then All Is Well. Hotly pursued in front, Never Ending, then All Is Well and Lusaka. Here's Never Ending now. Raced up, took the lead from Hotly Pursued. Late All Is Well, but it's Never Ending in front of Hotly Pursued. And it's just the beginning for Never Ending. Never Ending has won by half a head to Hotly Pursued, All Is Well, and Lusaka. Franco.
And Never Ending takes out the Pro Chevalier here. Race 5 at Gloucester Park on Friday night. Now has won 13 of his 15 career starts, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great call by Richie Bell there. It's only the beginning at the start of his preparation. What a performance, Ollie, to be able to get the win. We only spoke about a couple of weeks ago, What's Up Sunshine leading, and Mighty Ronaldo going to have to be so good to beat him time-wise, and we saw it again on Friday night. Hotly Pursued, he's no slouch and Never Ending. He was hanging quite noticeably on the bends. He was the one that was able to overcome all that adversity in time-wise and be able to get the cash and get the job done. What was your takeaways from Friday's return?
I think the early price, that Never Ending, went up. There would have been some happy punters out there getting a 220, I think it was, early. He's just an outstanding horse and another really good win. He tried his best to throw it away, hanging badly and not being overly trackable, but just too good for, as you said, a really nice horse in hotly pursued. So Never Ending, he really does look like he deserves his place in that Nullarbor.
Let's get straight into horses to follow, guys, from Gloucester Park on Friday night. Matt, let's start with you. You've got Feeling Aces, El Chema and Mega Mac.
Yeah, I like how Feeling Aces has been performing as of late. It's been very unlucky, I think. Yeah, we're going to see this horse drop back in grade soon, and even in one of those races, I think you can still follow around the each-way price. But I'd be looking more on the country track, country circuits for Feeling Aces, but I think he's ready to win. El Chema, I like the way that he ran through the line in the quick last quarter on Friday night. That was his second up run. I think he's starting to get back to his better form now, and I just don't think he's far away. He went around at double figure odds on at Friday night, so he's one to follow. And Mega Mac, who went around at the 100 to 1, performed quite well running up behind them late. I just think this horse is eligible for a bit easier, and it can be found probably on the secondary Friday meetings coming up, and probably one to follow going forward. I think Mega Mac is performing quite well, and even in one of those stands has to be included in the trifectas and first fours at bigger odds, because he can step and get himself into a good position. So those are my three to follow: Feeling Aces, El Chema and Mega Mac.
And Ollie, what about you? You like Steal the Show, Duty Bound and Luke Attack, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Steal the Show on Friday I thought was really good. Made his 10-metre handicap about 30 pretty quickly after the start, and then just was sitting in the running line, and they made it a complete sprint home. It was a really good drive in the leader to do that, but Steal the Show battled on gamely out wide, and we know his quality, so I think he'll be one to follow. Duty Bound got right back in the run. Another race that was run pretty slowly in the early stages. He flew home late over the top, and really good effort, and he's a horse with gate speed, so when he draws the lead, I think he's going well enough to figure prominently. And then Luke Attack, I thought was really, really good. He ended up parked outside the leader, which isn't really his go. He only tired late. It took the entire straight for Mr. Linton to get past him, and Mr. Linton's quite a nice horse on the up, so I thought Luke Attack can go well really soon.
All right, fantastic. So Ollie's horses to follow: Steal the Show, Duty Bound and Luke Attack. Racing at Pinjarra today, we've got some best bets. Matt, your tips coming in from races 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah, we'll stick to races 4, 5 and 6. I thought Jingling Jules was a really good price opening about race number 4. I just thought the way that this horse won on Saturday night, I like the quick backup. I like the horse racing over the short courses, got blistering gate speed. I know there'll be a few quick horses underneath, but I thought Jingling Jules was the way to play in the 4th event. Could charge across and lead, and if it does lead, I think that he will be winning. But at the same time, if you wish to have a little bit of a saver, I think Recover Love is going quite well and is worth having a saver on in that race. So that was sort of my play there in race 4. Race 5, I think it's a straight-out bet. Bonnie Ray I marked as my best on the card. I was really keen on Bonnie Ray's chances in the 5th on the program today. I just thought first up win. Horse had been at least 6 weeks between runs and performed really well at the short course. Didn't really have a right to win that race, in my opinion, and just won it so dominantly. And then last start, I thought the run had merit. So going into this run, third up, back to the longer trip, same sort of field. I just thought Bonnie Ray was really hard to beat. So race 5, number 7, and race 6, number 7 in Heavenly Wage, I thought was a really good chance. Happy Chappy does concern me a little bit, but I think Heavenly Wage has got blistering gate speed and could potentially put the pressure on and could get across at the start. Either way, I'm still happy to be with Heavenly Wage into a pretty strong position. I thought could be around about the each-way price, could drift to an each-way price and go very close with a little bit of support there for Happy Chappy. So race 6, number 7, Heavenly Wage, hasn't missed a place at the lightning lap distance from, I think, 8 starts now. So, really, really hard to go past that horse. So races 4, happy to play Jingling Jules, Save On, Recover Lover. Race 5, straight out, Bonnie Ray, and race 6, number 7, Heavenly Wage, if you can get to an each-way price. Otherwise, just a straight-out bet there.
Wonderful. And Jingling Jewels at value $6.50 currently with Tab Touch there in race 4. Ollie, you like the looks of races 3, 8 and 9?
I do. In race 3, Marengo Bay is always promised to be a really, really nice trotter. And at times, manners have just let it down. But the recent trial behind Codename Marcus, who's a pacer, was just outstanding. Only beaten 1.9 metres. 2:28s on the way home. Just a really impressive trial. He's got good gate speed. As long as his manners don't let him down, then I think can just about lead all the way in this. The one that's most interesting outside of him is Aldebaran Sundown, who was outstanding last start. But I think if Marengo Bay can lead, then it'll make it really hard for that horse. In race 8, I thought one at good value was Magic Eye Mick. He's always been a bit of a difficult horse by the looks, has pulled and done things wrong. So I think here in the Lightning Lap it'll be a lot better suited. Last start just found the front and ran a 28 first quarter and had just done far too much early. This time, back to his preferred trip, I think. He was really good recently in a Lightning Lap behind Heavenly Wage, so I think he can go well each way. And then in race 9, I think a horse that's going super at the moment is Bonsko Circus. Was really good last start chasing Dorado, who's won again yesterday at Bridgetown by a pretty big margin. And then was really good again out wide behind Roman Legion, who seems like a horse that's on the up. Not the quickest away from the stand, so I'm just hoping he can hold a spot early and then finish too strong for them late.
Wonderful. So just to recap the best bets there at Pinjarra, Matt, with race 4, Jingling Jules, $6.50 value. Race 5, best bet, Bonnie Ray, looks hard to beat. And race 6, Heavenly Wage has a blistering gate speeder there, so hoping for a win in the 6th. So Ollie, race 3, Marengo Bay. Race 8, Magic Eye Mick, huge value odds, $21 each way. And race 9, Bonsko Circus. Let's leave Pinjarra there and turn our attention to Gloucester Park tomorrow. And Matt and Ollie, you have both selected races 3 and 4. Matt, let's hear from you first.
Yeah, race number 3 on the card, I thought Street Appeal, and there's every chance that Ollie and I have both got the same horse here for races 3 and 4, but yeah, I liked race 3, number 3, Street Appeal. I thought he could burn across and find the top. He's been performing so well his last 3 or 4. He's got the gate speed. I don't think there's a huge amount of pressure in the race, and I thought he'd be really hard to beat. Not knowing the price, I just thought he was probably the best on the card beforehand. So race 3, number 3, Street Appeal, and race 4, I liked Louis Lebeau, sticking with the Callan Savelco double. Louis Lebeau was a really good win at 157 and change from the Breeze over 2,500 about a month ago, and I don't think he's going any worse. So as long as he hasn't taken harm from that hard run last start, I think he'll run a really good race again, and I thought he might be a little bit better than each way, or just around the each way price, because there's a couple of nice horses in the field, but I think he's the one that profiles as a genuine staying type. So race 4, number 7, Louis Lebeau, and race 3, number 3, Street Appeal. We'll see how close to the mark we are.
Ollie, would you pretty much have the same thoughts there as Matt?
In race 3, I do, yeah. I thought he's going really well, Street Appeal, for the horse he is. I think it looks a really suitable race, weak enough, and if he finds the front, I think it'll be really hard to beat. In race 4, I came up with G. Smith. I think he's racing really well as well. His last 2 have been really good. He got home really nicely behind Burley Shard, 2 back, in probably a bit of an uncharacteristic run. He's generally been sort of a horse that bowls along on the speed, but recently he's been getting home nicely. And then last start he was really good battling on late behind Yankee Lincoln. So I thought G. Smith would be good each way odds, and that's how I played race 4.
Wonderful. So you're both with race 3, Street Appeal, and then Matt, race 4, Louis Lebeau, and Ollie, race 4, G. Smith. Ollie, thank you very much for your company. 3 weeks here with you guys on Off and Pacing, and I look forward, well, I'm sure the listeners will look forward to having Tim Walker back next week. Thank you for your company, Ollie.
Thanks very much, Leia.
Wonderful. Ollie County there with his thoughts for Friday night, and then, of course, racing today at Pinjarra and Gloucester Park on Tuesday. Back shortly with Andy Gath.
They are Off and Pacing on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Okay, welcome back to Often Pacing, and we're about to be joined by a special guest here who is coming across for the Nullarbor. Massive news over the weekend. The slot holder of Regency Foods, Robbie Tomlinson and crew, selecting a very good pacer by the name of Catch a Wave. And Andy Gath is joining us this morning. A very good afternoon where you're from, Andy. How are you this afternoon?
No, I'm fine, guys, and good morning to you.
It's a massive opportunity for this horse, who's already accumulated over $1 million in stakes going into the Nullarbor event. How is he tracking for you? We saw him; he was beaten on Saturday night as a favourite behind 888. But how's he pulled up from that run, and what's the expectations of travel to get here?
Yeah, no, he had a decent blow after the race, and he probably wasn't quite as forward as I thought he would be. He did have to endure a pretty quick lead time. He did get a sort of cheap after that. So, yeah, he's had his opportunity to win, but I just think he sort of ran out of condition the last 50 metres, and the winner's too good for him. The last quarter's still pretty solid in 26, so he'll benefit a lot from that run, and the plan is to go around again next week with him at Melton, 1,700-metre race, and then he flies out of Sydney on the 8th of April to head over to Perth for the Nullarbor, and, probably looking forward to racing the week before to at Gloucester Park before the Nullarbor. Just give him a look at the track and give Kate an opportunity to drive at the track before the big race.
And then he'll stay for the Fremantle Cup the week after as well. So he's had the month between runs going into Saturday night, have another run, look to come over and get a little bit of a look at the track. But he's got an outstanding record over his career. He's won 19 of 34. Huge wins throughout his career, as well as the Miracle Mile and Chariots of Fire, just to name a couple. How do you think he'll go around the 800-metre track here at Gloucester Park?
Yeah, well, we know we're very thankful that we've got a slot, through Robbie, giving us the opportunity to take us on, and we're really looking forward to it. But we know there's a massive challenge ahead of us. There's no harder place to travel than to WA and take on your own horses and great trainers and drivers. The track will hold no fears for him. He'll get around any type of circuit, so he's quite a fast horse, and he's got a pretty high cruising speed, and he's a good sort of straight driving horse. So I don't think the track will hold any issues to him. He's travelled well before to Menangle quite a few times, so I don't think the travel will worry him as well. But it's just a matter of fitness with him and trying to have him spot on for the night. So again, I've got 25 days up my sleeve, so I've still got time on my slide to sort of screw him right down and make sure he's spot on when the big race is on the Nullarbor.
And with the slot holder, Regency Foods, how did that come about? Was it sort of something that had been spoken about over the last month or so, or even longer, or is it something that's just sort of sprung up overnight in the last week or so?
Yeah, it's probably just something that sort of sprung up. Unfortunately, we had a foot issue after his last run at Geelong, and we missed that opportunity to race in the Miracle Mile. We probably had a slot available for us for the race in Cambridge, and we sort of had to forego that because we didn't know how long he'd be off the scene for. So, we were just sort of left a little bit in the wilderness with no big races and sort of no big race in Victoria to the end of the season. And then, just through, probably the last sort of 7 days, it was brought to our attention, and, we were given an opportunity to, if we wanted to see it, we wanted to race Saturday night first and just make sure that he performed, close to his best, which we thought he did. And, Rob, we'll pretty keen to get over there, and take up the opportunity. Such a great race it was last year, and it's going to be again this year. I like the slot races, love the concept, and and the more interstate horses, it probably helps the the coverage of the race going forward too for the locals in Perth.
Where will you be staying in WA? Would I be right in assuming Dave Thompson?
Not sure I could handle him for 16 days, to be honest, but no, we sort of see that's a little bit up in the air. Obviously, we'll just sort of make a few inquiries and just sort of, see what's best for the horse. But but every chance we'll probably be staying there at Byford, I'd say.
And Kate, you mentioned coming over and having a look at the track. She's had a wonderful career as a driver and has been able to drive winners on multiple tracks and adapt to many different tracks. nearly 3,000 or nearly 2,100 wins, I should say, for her 54 Group 1 wins. So coming across to WA, you think she'd be able to handle the being able to adapt here in WA?
Yeah, obviously, it's quite a unique track. It's very got big sweeping bends and very short straights. So it'd be nice. I'm pretty sure she's never driven at the track before. She might have. I'm not 100% sure, but but having that race beforehand, the week before, just give her an opportunity to just sort of drive the track and get a bit of a feel of it. But like all good drivers, they adapt to all different conditions, so I'm sure it won't be an issue for her. It'll be something new for her, and, like us as trainers, taking the horse over there, and drivers too, we're all going to be challenged to, be at our best over there.
Well, we're absolutely looking forward to seeing you here, Andy, and looking forward to seeing the horse as well. And it should be a worthy addition, Catch a Wave. He's going to create a lot of interest. He already has created a lot of interest. Hot and Treacherous has just been named today as well. So some more Eastern States flavour along with Spirit of St. Louis. It's really shaping up to be an amazing race. Thank you for your time this morning, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
No, thanks a lot, Matt.
There we have Andy Gath joining us here this morning, Leia, on, off and pacing, and that pretty much rounds out the show this morning. We have got the Bunbury Cup coming up this Saturday night, as well as Gloucester Park on Friday night, looking at the meeting for Friday night at Gloucester Park, and really looking forward to the program. It's a night meeting, or an afternoon twilight slot for Good Friday, and we've got the running of the 4-year-old and 5-year-old Westbred Autumn Restricted Classic. That is going to take the main feature of the night, as well as the Easter Cup, which will be really fascinating over the 2,500 metres in terms of the class of horse that we're going to get in the race. We saw the Bridgetown Cup run and won yesterday, was taken out by Magnus Victor. Some great racing on Saturday night at Northam, and as we know, 9 races from Gloucester Park tomorrow with heats of the Gold Bullion. We see Waterloo and Exceptional Armour going around. So some really talented horses coming back. The Nullarbor starting to shape up, and the Bunbury Cup coming up on Saturday night. It's going to be really fascinating, and for yourself, you'll be able to step out and let Tim Walker come back and do the job that he started.